Okay, so the last phase is the maintenance phase of training. The maintenance phase of training is actually a really great phase of training to be in because usually it means you have already worked through all 3 phases of training. You have seen a great transformation already, and you're ready to kind of take a little bit of a breather and keep what you have and the progress that you've made before you decide to jump further into another phase of training. So the physical training, the working out that you'll actually be doing is going to be dependent on kind of what you want further, right? So if you, at the end of your fat loss phase, if you still feel like you wish you had a little bit more muscle mass, you can feel free to move into a little bit more of a strength training or progressive overload type of training phase, right? Where you're doing a lot heavier weights at the gym. Or if you feel like, okay, well, I've gotten, some benefits of both fat loss and weight loss, but I want to increase that and maximize that a little bit more, you can do something kind of in the middle, that recomp type of training, right? Or if you want to focus more on muscular endurance and you want to try and increase, some of that calorie burn and the intensity of your exercises, you can also jump into the fat loss phase. So this allows you to jump into whatever phase of training that you most prefer at the time being. Now, your calorie intake, K-O-R-E, right? Yeah, I spelt that wrong. Great, right? So calories are neutral. Your calories are going to be set at maintenance. The reason why we set your calories at maintenance is because we want you to keep the progress that you've made. We don't want you to lose weight. We don't want you to increase weight at the same time, because we want you to just we want your body, most importantly, to find homeostasis. You've put your body through these training phases, and it's really actually vital and important that you take some time for a little bit of a break so that you're not constantly putting your body into extremes. Because naturally, if you put your body into extremes too much, you're actually not going to be able to drive a hard, successful transformation all the time. You eventually will burn out physically. You'll also burn out mentally if you're constantly in new phases of training. So me and Megan, we often take times where we're just in maintenance, where we're maintaining some of the transformation that we've gotten in the past several months. And this allows our body to get that set point. And it makes it a lot easier and teaches our body that I want to hang out here. I want to continue to look the way that I do. And then I can kind of live this maintenance type of lifestyle. And maintenance is really to teach you how this becomes a lasting transformation for forever, because it helps us to really transform our bodies and then stay there and not have to put the weight back on, not put the body fat back on. And the only reason we should, right, is if we've been having children, right? Naturally, your body needs to put body fat on in order to successfully go in and out of a pregnancy. And that's why the transformation cycle has been invented. It's been invented for you to be able to transition in and out of these seasons of your life. Maintenance is a beautiful way to maintain it. Your schedule sometimes can be crazy. And so sometimes moving into a maintenance training cycle is really beneficial because it doesn't require you to be like on the number with all of your macronutrient ratios. It doesn't require you to be mentally straining yourself to stay under calories. You just need to kind of be in this healthy range so that your body can make sure that it's still being fueled for your activities without doing too much extra on the positive or minus side. And then this gives you a mental break. We already talked about that. Sometimes, especially after a fat loss phase, you need a mental break. You need time to digress, time to relax a little bit and not be so focused on making sure that you're training well and eating, 100% on par with your macros. And that's a great mental break. And it makes you feel really good that you can hang out in this different, basically, body composition and to maintain it. And those really are the benefits, is that after a maintenance phase, usually we like to use maintenance phases during the holidays because it can be extremely difficult to be in a fat loss phase during the holidays. So this is just a great time to make sure that you maintain the progress that you've gotten. Sometimes another good time to be in a maintenance phase is in between recomp and your first fat loss phase, because after you've done bulking and recomping, you've worked really hard for a couple seasons. It's nice to have a 6 to 8 week break before you're ready to dig in hard into a fat loss phase. So there's many different times of the year and different times in your life where a maintenance phase is actually going to be extremely beneficial for you. And that's going to actually lead us into our next video, where we teach you how our method meets the transformation cycle and how we implement that with what we call seasonal training. And seasonal training, we're going to tie it into your life as far as what's going on in your life right now, and then seasonal as in the seasons of the year, and how the seasons of the year can help give us momentum and help us really build the transformation we've always been looking for.